is always a pleasure to be back here. I was here for the WTSA, and you treated us so well. So I was looking forward to coming for another occasion. And thank you for hosting our World Telecommunications Indicator Symposium. It is always a pleasure when we work closely with any of our 193 member states. And for Huawei, thank you very much. You are one of our most active private sector members, and we are grateful always to partner with you. On this occasion, I would like to address to you on the subject of digital transformation. I think we are at a crossroads where technology is unfolding before our eyes. And the fact that we are meeting here on the African continent says a lot in terms of the relevance of the subject matter. In Africa, we have 30 countries that are defined by the United Nations as least developed countries. And out of those, we have got 15 countries that are landlocked developing countries, and that you have constraints in accessing submarine cables. Capacity building in terms of human and institutional arrangements is a major challenge. So when technology unfolds itself in terms of big data, in terms of Internet of Things, but also in terms of cloud computing and in terms of artificial intelligence, it means we are creating not only a digital divide, but we are also creating a data divide. And that we have to take care of, particularly because the world today is racing against time to implement the post-2015 agenda, and that is defined by the 17 strategic sustainable development goals and the 169 targets associated with it. Let me turn to the business of today. As we know, digital transformation goes beyond the private sector. Business transformation affects every facet of human life. For public policy formulation and implementation, digital transformation is a key issue. For all the other development partners, digital transformation is also a big issue. We have seen of late, in fact, that's why I say that it impacts every facet of human life. We recently implemented a project which tries to curb the impact of the Ebola disease epidemics. As climate change is wreaking havoc, and I just saw the statistics that 2017 has been recorded as the hottest year in the history of mankind. And in 2016, the same was true. And coming with that, of course, are huge challenges. We know that 90% of natural disasters are weather-related. We know also that there is an emergency of epidemics that are coming as a result of climate change, which are not treatable today because of the huge challenge. So we have to use and leverage the technology. But we also know that we are generating a lot of big data as a result of Internet of Things, communication between gadgets. By some estimate, by the year 2020, we'll have about 65 billion gadgets communicating without any human intervention. How do we tap into that? All that big data is going to be transformed into smart data. By year 2013, only 13% of the big data constituted smart or usable data. By 2020, we are estimating that about 32% of the data will be usable. That's where we have to focus. And we also have to take care of the people's right to be left alone, which is the privacy issue. And that comes with a huge challenge. That's why in big data, of course, we know we are basically looking at the general trend and trying to make sure that we protect people's privacy. And cybersecurity becomes a big challenge. Internet of Things, the same thing. When we are collecting data, who owns the data? There are some data brokers who are out there who are making billions of dollars. But do they have the right to use that data? Do they have the permission of the owners of the data to use it? These are some of the challenges, legal challenges and the ethical challenges that we have to confront. Artificial intelligence, deep machine learning. We can use that, for example, if there is a major disaster somewhere, we can use artificial intelligence, of course, to reach out to dangerous zones where we would never be able to reach. We are also saying the machines can do what humans used to do. What happens with all that unemployment? So capacity building becomes an issue. But for us in ITU, one of the key challenges is to measure, developing metrics, internationally agreed definitions, internationally agreed methodologies, which we can use to measure, to augment the traditional statistical methodologies that we have today. And that's why I think it is important that we are meeting this afternoon, just before we launch the World Telecommunications Indicator Symposium tomorrow. So we hope, through strong partnership between us and government, between us and the private sector, but also between ourselves and academia, we'll be able to overcome the challenges that come with this digital transformation. Thank you very much.